The sound of carriage wheels echoed loudly in the blackness of Downing Street. With a jangle of harness and the snorting of horses, the vehicle stopped outside number 10, and footmen braved the rain to lower the step and hand down the occupants. The Prime Minister, William Pitt, did not wait for the Speaker of the House of Commons, but Henry Addington knew his friend of old and smiled at his nervous vitality. "Quite dished them in the debate, William," he puffed as he caught up, and they mounted the stairs to the upper landing. "It will hold them for now," Pitt said briefly. The sound of their voices roused the household. A butler appeared from the gloom, with a maid close behind. "In here," Pitt threw over his shoulder as he entered a small drawing-room. The maid slipped past with a taper, lit the candles, and a pool of gold illuminated the chaise longue. Pitt sprawled on it full length, while Addington took a winged chair nearby. "Oh, a bite of cold tongue and ham would answer," Pitt said wearily to the butler's query, then closed his eyes until the man had returned with brandy and a new-opened bottle of port. He poured, then withdrew noiselessly, pulling the doors closed. "Hard times," Addington offered. "You think so, Henry? Since that insufferable coxcomb Fox rusticated himself, I have only the French to occupy me." He took a long pull on his port. Addington studied the deep lines in his face. "General Bonaparte and his invasion preparations?" he asked quietly. There'd been little else in the press for the last 2 months. Paris had performed a masterstroke in appointing the brilliant victor of Italy to the head of the so-called Army of England, which had beaten or cowed every country in Europe. His task now was to eliminate the last obstacle to conquest of the civilized world. Spies were reporting the rapid construction of flat troop landing barges in every northern French port, and armies were being marched to the coast. Invasion of the land that lay in plain sight of the battalions lining those shores was clearly imminent. What else? Pitt stared into the shadows. If you can get across the 20 miles of the Channel, then we're finished, of course. "We have the Navy," Addington said stoutly. Yes. The Navy were in bloody mutiny less than a year ago, and are now scattered all over the world. Necessary, of course." He brooded over his glass. "Grenville heard that the French will turn on Hanover, and that His Majesty will oblige us to defend his ancestral home, dragging us into a land war." "Ridiculous." "Of course." Addington cradled his brandy and waited.